I'm a toddler mom who is pregnant in my third trimester, and I think there are several reasons why moms are tired. So with kids who are of different ages or however many kids, to start with, we don't have the traditional village that our ancestors used to have, and we're doing a lot more, especially if you're a working mom and also maintaining the home and taking care of the kids. But I think it's deeper than that. There's so many things that are missing. For one, we are hiding from the sun, and the sun gives us energy. It gives us vitamin D, which is needed for basically everything. And two, after childbirth, we are super depleted of our minerals and nutrient stores, especially if you're breastfeeding. And I am going on 18 months breastfeeding now while pregnant, so I can definitely understand how taxing it can be. But we are not replenishing our nutrient and mineral stores. We're not nourishing ourselves properly. So I think that really starts with being intentional about the way we eat. A lot of our food is really depleting of our different minerals and nutrients. So for example, so many people or so many women I know are deficient in iron or deficient in vitamin D, which you get from, vitamin D you get from the sun, but also from food. Iron is in so much of our food, but we're not absorbing it, and it's because we're depleted of other minerals that we need in order to absorb it. So we need copper, we need magnesium, and these things aren't found in our food anymore because of the way it's raised. So our animal proteins, if we're getting lower quality proteins, if we're eating highly processed foods, for example, if you have ultra processed or ultra pasteurized dairy milk, you're cooking out all the nutrients in it. So besides the whole missing village thing, just think about it. Our ancestors had 7-10 kids, and we're taking care of the home, probably growing food, taking care of all the kids, and I'm sure they were tired, but this phenomenon of just overly tired moms and how common it is just crazy. And it's definitely because of the nature of our food and our lack of knowledge on what we're missing. So even just drinking plain water, we're depleting our bodies of essential nutrients. We need to add minerals back into our bodies by adding minerals back into our water, back into our food, using high quality sourced meats and other proteins like eggs, and also consuming organic produce and in-season produce if you're able to. Just being mindful of these things and trying to really take back our health, especially after we give birth. So I know as moms, you definitely relate to just being tired or feeling like there's so much to do and you never get everything done on your list, but there's always going to be something to do. So the way I think about it is at least try to feel yourself to feel good while getting things done. And so one of the things that I do is make sure that I front load protein in the beginning of the day. So trying to aim for at least 30 to 40 grams of protein for breakfast, and that's before having coffee, so that your body has fuel in it and not just going off of caffeine, because when you have caffeine on an empty stomach, it can really increase your cortisol. So that's just something to be mindful of. And then also keeping hydrated throughout the day and actually hydrating yourself with minerals so that your body is able to use the water. When you just drink plain water, your body doesn't have the minerals and tools it needs to actually use the water that you're drinking, which is why if you just drink plain water, you probably notice that you still have to pee all the time, you feel thirsty all the time, and that's because your body's not utilizing the water that you're drinking. So for me, those are my two biggest tips and easiest ways to start I feel like it can feel overwhelming just trying to do everything at once. So just starting with being intentional about your breakfast and having protein at the beginning of the day and hydrating yourself throughout the day to feel energized and feel good while still running around and taking care of your home and everything that's going on. So definitely those two things, and then everything else, when you start making those things habits and rituals, everything else gets a little bit easier, like sourcing quality meats and proteins and organic produce. Just doing things like that, it becomes a little bit easier because you're in the habit of being mindful and intentional with your eating and hydration. That's why we're tired. We're not nourishing ourselves properly, and we're not replenishing our nutrient and mineral stores, especially after childbirth and while breastfeeding, when our body requires so much of us. So some things to keep in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. There's construction going on in the back, and I need to get back upstairs. My toddler is with my husband, so going back upstairs. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.